Have you heard of vision boards? I bet you have. They've been around for a while. Lots of people have talked about them and shown how to do them and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of times they use the verse in Habakkuk. It's Habakkuk 2:2. It says, "The Lord answered me, write down this vision, clearly inscribe it on tablets, so one may easily read it." Okay, so God was giving Habakkuk a vision, and he wanted him to write it down so everybody could see it. Modern day vision board, that sort of thing, what you do is you find pictures in magazines and quotes and sayings and things, and you think about what you want or what you're going to do or what you want for the next year or 5 years or 10 years or whatever, and you cut out pictures and you place them, glue them, however you want to do it, on a poster board or a bulletin board. Sometimes, people suggest you go so far as finding someone with a great physical anatomy that you want to look like, and you chop their head off and put your picture on their picture of your head over that body. Okay, that's not what I'm going to talk about today. Let's go all the way back to Genesis, Genesis 15:5, and we're talking about Abram, who became Abraham. And in 15:5, God said, well, let's do this. 15:5, it says, he took him outside and said, he being God, look at the sky and count the stars, if you're able to count them. Then he said to him, your offspring will be that numerous. Okay, so just hold the phone one hot second here. This is crazy town. God told Abram to leave where he was. So Abram's dad, Terah, died at 205 or something. That's pretty good. And then God's like, okay, get up, take off. You're not doing this anymore. You've got your own life, and I'm going to bless you, and I'm going to give you this land to your descendants. Abram was 75. Sarah was 65. Okay, pretty much we know that if you're, for a woman 65, you're probably done having children. And yet God says, oh, and by the way, I'm going to give all of your offspring this land. And Abram's like, okay, cool. I can't count the stars. It's a lot of children. Wait a minute. Sarah's 75 or 65. What? This is the cool part about this. I get really kind of excited when I read this because God gave Abram a quote unquote vision board. It happened to be the entire sky. Isn't that what we talk about with vision boards? Keep it in front of you so you can always see it, so you're always reminded, so you can remember, this is the direction, this is what God is showing me, this is where I'm going. I am so guilty of this. This is so difficult for me. Maybe not for you, for me. Even when it's stinking right in front of me, I forget, I doubt, I question, I get frustrated. Oh yeah, hot mess right here. That's me, y'all. God used the sky, the stars in the sky. Every night, the stars came out, and Abram saw them. And God was like, yoo-hoo, remember I said you were going to have as many kids as there are stars in the sky? Yeah, how do you argue with that when you see it every stinking night? And yet, Abram believed. It says he believed, and it was counted to him as righteousness. And yet, every time, twice that I can think of, when Abram went someplace new, like to Egypt or someplace else, he would say, okay, Sarah, you have to pretend to be my sister, because if you don't, these guys are going to kill me. And so you just tell them you're my sister. And inevitably, Pharaoh, whoever it was, would say, oh, she's all that and then some. I need her. And they would take her into their family or their household, and God would smack these guys upside the head and say, nope, she's married. Abraham was not entirely honest. And even with that, every night the stars came out. Well, okay, Sarah got a little uppity and was like, well, I know God said that he was going to give Abraham all these kids, but obviously it's not going to be from me. So here, I'm not really going to hold on to that. I know he said it, but well, here, take my slave girl and let's see if we can reroute this plan a little bit. Oh my goodness. Isn't that the norm? It's like, okay, here's the vision every time the stars come out. And you know Abraham told Sarah this. And every time the stars came out, it was like, yes, okay, but it's been 15 years and I still don't have any children. It's been how long and I still don't have any children? How is this going to happen? Well, it happened. It happened in a big way, even though Sarah had said, Abraham, take my servant girl, do it that way. And for some reason, Abraham listened. Really, what was up with that? But still, God said, no, we're going to do this my way. It's Abraham and it's Sarah. This is what we're doing because I told you would have as many children as there are in stars in the sky. Okay, I'm not trashing vision boards. I'm not saying they're a bad idea. I'm not saying don't write down, what God has put on your heart. I'm saying definitely do it. And at the same time, I'm saying keep doing it. Write it down. Make the picture. Keep the future God has for you and has shown you and the desires of your heart. Keep it in front of you. I have to work on this. I totally big time have to work on this because I keep forgetting and negative thoughts and ridiculousness and what happens if and what about that and it's not happening fast enough. It couldn't possibly happen. This is my brain at work, y'all. This is my brain. It is so goofed up sometimes because I forget. And I can't look out at the stars and say, oh, that was a promise given to me because what God has shown me is different. And it's different from what he's shown you, and it's different from what he's shown someone else, and that's who he is, and that's how he works. That's the amazing thing about this. Each desire God has given you is different from what he has given someone else, and if you don't write it down, it's easy to start comparing what you're doing or what you think you're supposed to be doing to someone else and going, well, but I want to do that instead. I don't want to do this. And yet God says, pay attention to what I'm giving you because I'm going to give you the desires of your heart because I put them there. I put those desires in your heart for a reason because I have for you a plan that was formed before the foundations of time. And this is the plan, and you've got to pay attention and you have to keep looking at it. You have to keep it in front of you. You have to keep the future that I've given you in sight. Okay, why would you have to keep the future God has given you in front of your eyes, in sight, before you, looking at you? If you do, then you can go, oh, that was what he showed me. That was the desire of my heart that he put in me. Oh, and look, here it is, and here's how it looks, and these are the things he's shown me. And then as you move forward and life progresses, you can go, oh, look, I can check this off because he did do that. Oh, look, I can check this off because he did that too. And it was his vision for me, his plan for me. And now I can go, oh, because he's done these things and I can check them off, it means he's going to keep doing more and more things that he's shown me. And oh, wow, sometimes he does it in a way I didn't even expect. So if we don't keep this future vision in front of us, we don't know when he's fulfilled it because we are human and we are forgetful. And you know that thing that says the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy? Well, part of what he comes and kills, steals, and destroys is our hope and our vision that God has given us. He steals our dreams by allowing us to forget them, by prompting us to forget them, by asking us and putting in front of us the negative and the distractions and the things that are not from God. So if we write the vision, if we make the vision plain so we can see it, then we go, oh, wow, this is how God is doing it. And boy, I didn't expect that. And how cool is this? This is how we walk with God in faith because we walk every step, like every literal, sometimes for me, every second by second. We walk these things in the future He has given us, not in the past, but in the future that He's given us. Okay, we have a solar eclipse coming up this week. Yep. So here is a thought before the eclipse, the night before. Go out, look at the stars, think about the vision God has given you, and then remember that solar eclipse God planned before the foundations of time. This was already in the works way before you and I were ever born. It's not a surprise. It's not some fluke thing. And if He planned that, how much more has He planned the life He has for you and to give you the desires of your heart? So ask God, what's the vision? Let me write it down and make it plain so I can see it.